What it do? H-Town, what it do? On today's rundown, we're here to discuss, could this defensive back group be better than advertised? As well as the similarities between last year's wide receiver group and this year's defensive back group.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
And also, last but not least, offensively and defensively, which Houston Texans players could have a breakout / MVP-like season? H-Town, get your listening ears ready, strap up your boots, and let's go.
I am so happy.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready? I was born for this. Look, every Sunday, I don't give a, whenever we play, I get that text. Are you ready? Texas!
The pitch. And Altuve hits it in the air pretty deep to left. Carter is back at the wall, leaves, and it is gone! It's gone! How do you like that?
One game at a time.
Green still with it. Gets it back, lets it fly, and got it!
Win on two, 1-2.
Welcome back, H-Town, welcome back. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend a few minutes here on Everything H-Town Sports Debate Show. I'm your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TV, and like always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification bell so you can get the latest flames that your boy drop about your local Texas teams. But on to the first topic at hand. And the purpose of this video is to explain why I do believe the Houston Texans defensive back room is good as advertised. And the number one reason is the return of Derek Stingley. He's healthy. He's been working hard. I mean, he looks yoked. The guy looks good. He's locked down, man. Derek Stingley, if he can stay healthy, is a lockdown guy. He showed in a small sample last season after coming back from injury. Man, I can get 5 or 6 interceptions. I mean, quick. That guy can get 5 or 6 picks real fast and look real good. So if he can stay healthy at least 15 out of the 17 games, we will be in a good position on one side at the starting cornerback position. Derek Stingley can hold that down. That could be Stingley Island, and we won't have to worry about anything if Stingley can stay healthy. So where it comes in, the competition comes at the CB2. We brought in C.J. Henderson. We brought in Jeff Okudah. Both of those guys are top 10 picks at their positions, man, in the same draft, dude. So both of those guys are also on their third team. But like I say, sometimes, dude, the NFL is unforgiving. It's impatient. When you a top 10 pick like that, they want to see you produce right away. And sometimes you just get in a scheme, in a system that just does not fit you, or the coach feel like he don't have time to teach you the techniques or teach you this or teach you the ins and outs of the defense. So sometimes these guys fail because they fall into the wrong place. They fall into the wrong system. So that's why DeMeco Ryans and Nick Caserio decided to bring these two top 10 pick guys in to get a look at them, because both of these guys could play a CB2, I believe. Especially Jeff Okudah. He's super talented. He's fast. He's big. He's long. He can tackle well. I know he don't get a lot of INTs, but the guy can be a serviceable CB2, man. Like I say, dude, a lot of these guys in this defensive back room are either kind of like retread guys, Stingley, a number 3 overall pick, or you just brought in a guy like Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock. Those guys are young guys, so they still got to find a way. They got to figure out where they fit in. They got to get in where they fit in. But you still have Jimmy Ward. You still have Jalen Petrie. I believe Jalen Petrie is a good player, man. He had a down year. His first year, he proved he had 5 picks. So I believe the guy can work. He's better, I believe, playing in the box, blitzing, tackling. Jalen Petrie, I believe, better. Kalen Bullock is going to be a better, single high free safety, a guy that can cover, a guy that can make INTs more than Jalen Petrie. Jalen Petrie may be better in the box, but Jimmy Ward is a veteran that knows this defense like the back of his hands. He has the leadership skills, all that. And if Jimmy Ward can stay healthy as well, that guy can ball out. A lot of those guys can be interchangeable. This defense can be very scary. But where it boils down to, can Jeff Okudah or CJ Henderson take that CB2? But the youngster Kamari Lassiter, man, he's been out there getting the Swarm Player of the Week or the day, whatever. This guy has been lights out. That's why they call this guy the locksmith. He fell to the second round, but I'm starting to believe that Nick Caserio is just a maestro when it comes to finding guys in the later rounds. I know the second round is not the later round, but this guy can scout players. A lot of people passed on this guy because they believed his 40 time wasn't that good. But Kamari has been out there against Stephon Diggs and whoever he's been tasked with covering. That guy's been knocking the ball down. That guy has been locked down, and he's been step for step with everyone. He hasn't been getting burnt. He hasn't been getting beat like that. That guy is right there in their pocket when the ball is thrown. So he might even fight or put a stake in the ground to beat CB2, depending on what they're doing, because they interviewed Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryans, and right now they's kind of he's been able to obtain a lot of information, so they trying to play him inside and outside. You know, teach him a lot right now in a small amount of time to see what he can retain. But Nick Caserio, on his interview on 610, the guy said he's been retaining a lot of information. He's been taking in a lot of information. He's been doing good, man. I believe this guy was ready, coming from a big program like Georgia. I like what Kamari Lassiter is doing. Man, this guy has been locked down. Even Stingley, I think, quoted or tweeted that this guy is the real true locksmith. He stands by his name. And if Derek Stingley saying that, the guy got to be bald.
What is a guy like Kamari Lassiter coming from the SEC from the secondary?
Yeah, man, I've been so amazed by him, man. He's been making plays left and right all over the field. He got the Swarm Player of the Day. He's electric, man.
On to Jeff Okudah and CJ Henderson. Also, Nick Caserio, the general manager, when he was on 610, Payne and Pendergast. He also spoke about, you know, him, the way CJ Henderson, the way he likes the way CJ Henderson and Jeff Okudah has been competing, dog. They've been competing, bro. They brought in a lot of competition. So this defensive back room is competing, man. Everybody is trying to find their place. We're not to mention the safeties that we brought back from last year. We re-signed a lot of guys. It's a lot of bodies in the defensive back room. And they're going to have to battle it out to see who stays, who gets cut. My boy Desmond King. A lot of guys out there that can ball, and Desmond King balled out, and he was clutch last year. So I believe Desmond King makes this team as well. So like I said, it's a lot of good competition. If Jeff Okudah or CJ Henderson can step up and be one of the boundary corners outside of Stingley, then it's the battle between King and Lassiter in the inside. Or Lassiter can probably come off the bench. Though guys don't always have to start, but the way that guy Lassiter has been balling, Kamari has been doing his thing, he needs to be on the field somewhere. I know the nickel package get a lot of defensive backs out there, so I don't know. However head coach DeMeco Ryans decide to deploy these guys, I believe we're going to have a team full of defensive backs that's going to do their thing. Topic number 2, H-Town, the similarities. Last year I did a video about this wide receiver group. A lot of people was like, oh, this wide receiver group is trash, and Nico Collins can't stay healthy, and Tank Dell is a 3rd round draft pick. A lot of people thought he was going to be good, but he's too small. He's going to get injured. He's not going to be. No one knew what Tank Dell can do in the NFL. We knew he was good at the University of Houston, but he still had to get on the NFL field and prove it. Also, we brought in Robert Woods. You know, Robert Woods had a fairly decent career with the Rams. Then he went to the Titans. He was injured. He get to us. He's more of a veteran type guy. He's older. He's coming off an ACL tear. We don't know what Robert Woods going to be. We bring in Noah Brown, who was like the 4th or 5th receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. We didn't know what Noah could truly be. But I still looked at this wide receiver group and was like, If you don't believe me, go back and look at the videos. I have a video specifically about how underrated this wide receiver group was. And I feel the same similarities to this defensive back group. I believe the defensive back group can be way better than advertised. And it's similarities. Like Nico Collins. Nico Collins, you've seen what Nico Collins can do when he stayed on the field. Similar to Derek Stingley. You've seen what Derek Stingley can do and make happen when he's on the field. That's the similarity between Nico Collins and Derek Stingley. Also, the older veterans are veterans that have been on multiple teams. Is the Jeff Okudah, the C.J. Henderson. You have this comparing to the Jeff Okudah and C.J. Henderson. You have your your Noah Brown. That's compared to the Jeff Okudah or the C.J. Henderson. You have your Robert Woods. Those guys have been on multiple teams. They well traveled in the NFL. And they're veterans that's trying to find a home, man. So that's the similarity between the Robert Woods, the Noah Brown, the Jeff Okudah, and the C.J. Henderson. The only difference is, and I know it's not apples to apples, but those guys, that's the closest similarity, where you have a bunch of veteran guys that's been brought in, see what they can do during training camp and see what sticks. Robert Wood came in here and became a blanket for C.J. Stroud. Also, you brought in a Dalton Schultz. Compared to Tank Dell, the rookie guy compared to Tank Dell is your Kamari Lassiter. He came right in. He's proven to everyone that he can play in the NFL. Everyone now is starting to look at this guy with high hopes, just as they did with Tank Dell. Tank Dell came in, and DeMeco Ryans was talking about he's always open. Same thing with Kamari Lassiter. He's coming in, and he's always knocking the ball down. He's always in somebody's hip pocket. It's a lot of similarities with this defensive back group as last year with the wide receiver group, because a lot of people around the league was like, it's a lot of pieces put together, a lot of unknowns, a lot of veterans, a lot of injury concerns, a lot of that. So the similarities are the same in this defensive back group as the wide receiver group was last year. But as always, your boy Hot Topic got to look around all the smoke. And I think this defensive back group is going to be fire, and it's going to be good. I know Jimmy Ward is maybe 32, 33, but Jimmy Ward is a staple in this defense. Jimmy Ward will help in his defense. Jimmy Ward can go move down to a nickel defender, back up to the safety. Same as Jalen Petrie. Same as probably Kamari Lassiter. A lot of these guys, Kamari Lassiter is going to be able to bump in the inside in the nickel. He can go to the outside. He's going to be versatile as well. So a lot of these guys are going to be interchangeable, and DeMeco Ryans is going to have a lot of toys to play with. So those are the similarities, I believe. The injury concerns, bringing in the rookie DB, the rookie wide receiver, bringing in some well-traveled veterans that's been on multiple teams, and have some question marks. So those are the similarities, even though they're not apples to apples, they're more like apples to oranges, but they still have some similarities that I wanted to point out in this video, H-Town. Let your boy know what you think. Last but not least, H-Town, the final topic of the day. And I want all the comments. I want all the smoke. I want you guys to let me know what you think. You guys a lot of these guys are smart. A lot of these Houston Texans fans are smarter than what people give them. I look at a lot of comments, a lot of ideas, and I get a lot of stuff from you guys because you guys are smart. I love your comments. Continue to comment. Continue to share. Continue to let your boy know what you feel, because this is the Houston Texans Sports Show. I like to debate with you guys. Pretty soon I will be starting lives and bringing people in and phone calls and doing a lot of this. But right now I'm trying to establish this show. They give you guys some good information. Have fun with you guys on this show. But this is the question that I had for the final, the final topic. Who offensively and defensively will have either a breakout or a MVP caliber season? And it can be anyone. Hell, I believe Tank Dell, I believe Tank Dell is going to shine. He is highly motivated. He is ready to go. He has some high goals. I know we have Stephon Diggs and we have Nico Collins, but if you're going to focus on a Stephon Diggs and a Nico Collins, that's going to leave Tank Dell to tear the bone off the opposite team. So I believe he's going to have like a MVP caliber. I'm not going to say MVP caliber, but I'm going to say, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's going to be a very, very good season, man. It's going to be an underrated season. It's going to be a breakout season. I think Tank Dell is going to have his breakout season. I believe he's going to obtain over 1,000 yards receiving. I believe Tank Dell, the way he was the touchdown machine last year, he may have 10-plus touchdowns. I believe Tank Dell is just going to be open. Also, another guy I believe is about to take that next step and maybe have a real MVP caliber breakout season defensively is my boy Christian Harris. My boy Christian Harris, he has Alzee Shire in his ear. He shined last year. He's in year 2 of DeMeco Ryans' defensive system. He's more comfortable. He's physical. He's fast. He can cover. He can hit. I believe Christian Harris take the next step and maybe fight for like a defensive player or something like that. I believe that. I know a lot of people may think that those high goals, but look at Alzee Shire. He almost was one of the maybe second or third highest guys making tackles and solo tackles at that. Not combined tackles or none of that. Solo tackles. And if you get a guy like that that's at the mic, that's leading his defense, that's making sure these guys in the right position. Christian Harris pretty much did a lot of that by himself last year. Imagine with the leadership that Alzee Shire will bring in and help Christian Harris along with DeMeco Ryans. So I believe that's another guy defensively could have a breakout season. And the guy that I truly believe that can have an MVP season and win the MVP is your quarterback, C.J. Stroud. This guy is obsessed with football. He reminds me of a Tom Brady. I mean, he's a competitive. He have a competitive gene that will click in the instant. He want to compete. I don't care if he's playing wide receiver, running back, basketball, football, baseball. That guy is a pure competitor. And C.J. Stroud is in year 2 of this offense. And Bobby Slowick, during the interview, during the media availability, maybe like a week or 2 ago, said that there's no limitations to this offense. C.J. Stroud has pretty much mastered this offense. He just has to take the next step in understanding, spreading the ball, because you have a Stephon Diggs, you have a Nico Collins. He spreaded the ball pretty well last year. He beat blitzes last year. The guy is just a top 5 guy. I'm sorry to say it. I know he's young. People don't like to say it about young quarterbacks, but C.J. Stroud is a top 5 guy. And this guy, if he's anything like he was last year, and he improves on anything that he did last year, that's an MVP type guy. That's a guy that can get this roster offensively and defensively to a Super Bowl. But H-Town, I'm your Dreadhead host, Hot Topic TB. It's been real chopping it up, cussing, discussing with you guys. Please leave your comments. Please leave your likes. Please share this video. It's been real, and peace.
Texas!
Put some respect on our name.